A wise woman builds her home, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands. So that is chapter 14, verse 1 in Proverbs. Today is November 14th. We are on chapter 14. If you watched yesterday's video, we went over chapter 13, which was regarding parental discipline. If you didn't catch that one and you're a parent or you want to be a parent or you're a grandparent or something, go back and watch it. Just this day and age, it seems like none of these kids are getting disciplined. If you don't want to watch the video, at least go read the chapter. We need to discipline these kids. Um, as I mentioned in that video, a lot of the kids that I deal with at the detention center on Mondays, they're really good kids, and they're facing a lot of hard time, just simply because they've never had discipline in their lives, and they never thought they had. I mean, it's unfortunate. But let's get back into chapter 14. It says, a wise woman builds her home, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands. Those who follow the right path fear the Lord. Those who take a wrong path despise him. A fool's proud talk becomes a rod that beats him, but the words of the wise keep them safe. Without oxen, a stable stays clean, but you need a strong ox for a large harvest. An honest witness does not lie, but a false witness breathes lies. A mocker seeks wisdom and never finds it, but knowledge comes easily to those with understanding. Stay away from fools, for you won't find knowledge on their lips. The prudent understand where they are going, but fools deceive themselves. Fools make fun of guilt, but the godly acknowledge it and seek reconciliation. Each heart knows its own bitterness, and no one else can fully share its joy. The house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the godly will flourish. There is a path before each person that seems right, but it ends in death. Laughter can conceal a heavy heart, but when the laughter ends, the grief remains. Backsliders get what they deserve. Good people receive their reward. Only simpletons believe everything they're told. A prudent carefully consider their steps. The wise are cautious and avoid danger. Fools plunge ahead with reckless confidence. Short-tempered people do foolish things, and schemers are hated. Simpletons are clothed with foolishness, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. Evil people will bow before good people. The wicked will bow at the gates of the godly. The poor are despised even by their neighbors, while the rich have many friends. It is a sin to belittle one's neighbor. Blessed are those who help the poor. If you plan to do evil, you will be lost. If you plan to do good, you will receive unfailing love and faithfulness. Work brings profit, but mere talk leads to poverty. Wealth is a crown for the wise. The effort of fools yields only foolishness. A truthful witness saves lives, but a false witness is a traitor. Those who fear the Lord are secure, but he will be a refuge for their children. Fear of the Lord is a life-giving fountain. It offers escape from the snares of death. A growing population is a king's glory. A prince without subjects has nothing. People with understanding control their anger. A hot temper shows great foolishness. A peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. Jealousy is like a cancer in the bones. Those who oppress the poor insult their maker, but helping the poor honors him. The wicked are crushed by disaster, but the godly have a refuge when they die. Wisdom is enshrined in an understanding heart. Wisdom is not found among fools. Godliness makes a nation great, but sin is a disgrace to many people. A king rejoices in wise servants, but is angry with those who disgrace him. So the study portion of my Bible just has a jealous heart, and it only goes over chapter 14, verse 30. So just reading the rest of that, and you let me know what you got from the rest of those verses. But they all have a pattern of, if you do good, good will follow. If you do bad, bad will follow. And it's all about having that discerning heart, having that seeking knowledge and seeking wisdom, so that way you make those right decisions. because a fool will continue making foolish mistakes, where somebody that's prudent or somebody that is seeking God will make mistakes, but they're gonna correct those mistakes, and they're gonna come back and be better for it. So again, I said the study Bible or study portion of my Bible only calls out chapter 14 verse 30 on this. So to me, that just means that they think verse 30 is powerful enough to write a whole study on it. So let's reread it again. A peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. Jealousy is like cancer in the bones. So to me, that makes 100% sense. It's a peaceful heart leads to a healthy body. If you have peace, if you have comfort, you're gonna feel good. Your body's gonna be healthy. Your mind's gonna be healthy. You're not gonna be worried. You're not gonna have stress, and stress brings on a lot of other issues, right? Jealousy is like a cancer in the bones. That's also the exact opposite. If you're a jealous person and you're always thinking about either jealousy in either way, whether you're jealous of envious of somebody else, whether you always have to have what everybody else has, or you're never happy with other people's success, that leads to bitterness and just detriment in your own body. And then also, if you're jealous of, like, say, your spouse, or you're jealous that they're doing something wrong, and you're always just thinking negatively about them, for one, relationships don't work without trust, but it's not healthy for you to always be just jealous and always worried about them doing something that they shouldn't be doing. So let's go into the observation. It says, when people want something other than what God has given them, jealousy sets in. Jealousy causes people to become preoccupied with what they lack and fixed on what others have. And it makes those who experience it feel miserable and sick. So just like I mentioned, it's like, if you're so focused on what everybody else has, and you're, instead of being grateful for the things that you have, then you're never going to be happy, because you're always you can have 2 times as much as somebody, you can have more than somebody else. But if you're a jealous person, if you're an envious person, every time you see somebody else's success, you're going to be bitter towards them. I've seen it a lot, where somebody gets something, and I hear people in the background like, oh, well, they don't deserve that. They shouldn't have that. They, whatever. Or they don't deserve that promotion. I deserve that promotion. Or so-and-so deserves that promotion. Well, maybe that's not their time. God has a time and a place for everybody. God has, everybody's God's written all of our stories. We'll just leave it there. And then it says it causes weakness, illness, and pain. In contrast, a peaceful and content heart is healthy and happy. So if you're peaceful, if you're happy, if you're just gracious in what God's giving you, that's going to show up in the rest of your life. I don't know if I mentioned on any of these videos, but I know I have in other of my videos. But probably about 8 months ago or so now, I started every morning. First thing I do when I wake up is I just thank God for giving me another day alive to serve Him, make another day awake, another day with my wife, another day on a comfortable bed, another night, good night's sleep under in a roof of a beautiful home, another day with my kids being healthy. Just everything. I just ramble off everything I'm grateful for, because when you start your day off grateful, I'm telling you, before I used to wake up, it's like, oh, my back hurts, I don't want to get out of bed, and my days would drag, and it would take me a long time I never considered myself a morning person, because it would take me a long time to start getting going for the day. But it's because I was complaining about waking up, where I just flipped that little bit and I started being grateful. And I still don't think I'm a morning person, because I'd rather stay up later and sleep in a little bit, which I never do anyway. But now, at least when I do wake up early, and so when I do have to get up and I stay those those grateful things, then the rest of my day just kind of follows suit. Where if you start letting negativity control your life, you start letting envy and jealousy control you, then you're just miserable all the time. So let's go with the interpretation. A jealous heart struggles to rejoice with others. It lacks satisfaction in God and is prone to fear, selfishness, control, and self-pity. So how many of you know that person or are that person that you're never happy when somebody else succeeds or somebody else does something? If you're one of those people, please pray about it. If you're one of them, you probably won't acknowledge it, but I'm sure you can point somebody else out and just pray for them. And even if you don't think you're one of them, pray that you don't become one of those people, because it just seems like a miserable life to live if you can't ever be happy for somebody else's success. It lacks satisfaction in God and is prone to fear, selfishness, control, and self-pity. God calls us to love others, but jealousy is the opposite of love. Because jealousy is a sin that grieves the heart of God, we must confess our jealousy to him, forsake it, and reconcile with those that we have sinned against. So we're called to love our neighbor. We're called to love each other. And if you're not happy for them when they're successful or when they get something or whatever, but you're in your own envy or your own jealousy, that's not only just against them, that's against God, because God's telling us to be grateful, to be happy for them. Be grateful for what we have, for what he's given us, for one. And then for number two is be happy for his other children. Be happy for your brothers in Christ. Even if it's not somebody that you know. Say you're in a drawing, in a raffle for something, and somebody else wins it other than you, somebody that you don't know. Instead of being disappointed, just be grateful that maybe God knows that they needed it more than you do. For whatever reason, that person needed to have it more than you do. Even if it looks like they have everything in the world and you're struggling, there's a reason. Maybe they're gonna take it and give it to somebody that needs it more than you do. You never know what God's plans are for everybody. So instead of thinking that you do know and using that as your excuse to be jealous, just be grateful for what God gives you, and be happy for other people's successes. Tomorrow is November 15th. We will go over chapter 15, which is the joyful heart. I will see you tomorrow. Like always, God bless you. Please like, share, comment on this. Please read the chapter. If I can get anybody to do anything on doing these videos, it's just reading God's word and getting closer to God. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.